In the sun-drenched fields of 1923 Tennessee, two young boys, Rafe McCauley and Danny Walker, share an unbreakable bond forged in adventure. The duo climbs into the dusty cockpit of Rafe's father's old biplane, pretending to be daring fighter pilots gunning down imaginary enemies. Their childhood dreams of glory in the skies set the stage for a lifelong friendship that will be tested by love, war, and tragedy. Fast forward to 1940, with America on the brink of World War II but still clinging to neutrality, Rafe and Danny are now dashing first lieutenants in the U.S. Army Air Corps, stationed at Mitchell Field in New York under the stern command of Major Jimmy Doolittle, portrayed by Alec Baldwin. Rafe, charismatic and impulsive, volunteers for the Eagle squadrons, RAF units welcoming American pilots to aid Britain against the Nazis. Before departing, he undergoes a routine medical exam where he meets Evelyn Johnson, a beautiful and compassionate Navy nurse played by Kate Beckinsale. Despite Rafe's dyslexia nearly disqualifying him, Evelyn passes him with a wink, sparking an instant romance. As their love blossoms amid the uncertainty of war, Rafe and Evelyn spend idyllic evenings dancing at swing clubs and stealing moments in a borrowed police boat on New York Harbor. But duty calls. Rafe shocks Evelyn by revealing he is shipping out to England the next day. They part with promises of forever, Evelyn gifting him a scarf for luck. In the brutal skies over the English Channel during the Battle of Britain, Rafe's plane is shot down in a harrowing dogfight with Luftwaffe bombers, presumed dead after plunging into the icy waters. His death devastates Evelyn back home. Seeking solace, she turns to Danny, who has always been like a brother to Rafe, but now finds himself drawn to her in grief. Their shared mourning evolves into a tender romance, as Danny comforts Evelyn through her pain, and they begin to build a life together in the paradise of Hawaii, where they've been reassigned to Wheeler Field near Pearl Harbor. Evelyn works at the Naval Hospital, surrounded by fellow nurses like the Boobly Betty and the Sassy Sandra, while Danny flies patrols in his P-40 Warhawk. Months later, on a balmy Hawaiian evening in December 1941, Evelyn is stunned when Rafe appears at her bungalow door. Alive, having survived the crash, evaded capture in occupied France, and fought his way back through resistance networks. Overjoyed yet conflicted, Evelyn confesses her relationship with Danny. Rafe, heartbroken and furious, storms off to a local bar where his pilot buddies, including the wisecracking Earl and the loyal Red, welcome him with open arms and flowing drinks. Danny tracks him down, intent on reconciliation. But old tensions erupt into a brutal fistfight amid the tiki torches and hula dances. The two friends, bloodied but bonded, flee the MP's and Danny's convertible, passing out under the stars after a night of raw emotion. Dawn breaks on December 7, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. As Rafe and Danny sleep off their hangover, the Imperial Japanese Navy launches a devastating surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Waves of Zero fighters and bombers streak across the sky, torpedoing battleships and strafing airfields. Chaos erupts. Sailors scramble on the decks of the USS Arizona and USS Oklahoma. Nurses like Evelyn rush to treat the wounded amid exploding hangars. Rafe and Danny, jolted awake by the bombs, race to their planes. With most aircraft destroyed on the ground, they commandeer to surviving P-40s and take to the skies in a desperate counterattack. In pulse-pounding aerial sequences, they weave through enemy fire, downing 7 Japanese planes in a display of raw heroism. On the ground, they aid in rescue efforts, Rafe diving into the harbor to free trapped sailors from the capsized Oklahoma, while the Arizona erupts in a massive fireball, claiming over 1,000 lives. In the attack's aftermath, with Pearl Harbor in ruins and America reeling, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addresses Congress with his iconic Day of Infamy speech, thrusting the nation into war. Rafe and Danny, hailed as heroes, are summoned stateside by Doolittle for a top-secret mission. Before leaving Hawaii, Evelyn reveals to Rafe that she's pregnant with Danny's child. Torn but resolute, she affirms her past love for Rafe but commits her future to Danny and their family. The friends, now captains decorated with silver stars, train rigorously for the Doolittle raid, the first American strike on Japanese soil. Alongside a crew of brave pilots, they practice short takeoffs in modified B-25 bombers, bonding over the impossible odds. In April 1942, aboard the USS Hornet in the Pacific, the raiders launched their daring bombing run on Tokyo, catching the enemy off guard and boosting Allied morale. But triumph turns perilous, low on fuel after an early launch due to detection. Rafe's and Danny's planes crash land in Japanese-occupied China. Ambushed by patrols, Danny is fatally shot, shielding Rafe. In his dying moments, Rafe confesses the pregnancy, and Danny whispers, "No, you are," entrusting his friend with a future. Rescued by Chinese allies, Rafe returns home a changed man, bearing Danny's body. The war rages on, but personal stories find closure. Rafe marries Evelyn in a poignant ceremony, adopting her son, named Danny, in honor of his father. As the film closes in 1945, with victory secured, Rafe takes his new family for a joyride in his father's old biplane, soaring into a hopeful sunset. Amid the epic scale of battle, Pearl Harbor weaves themes of brotherhood, forbidden love, sacrifice, and the human cost of war, blending historical spectacle with heartfelt drama.